losers, there are idiots, and then there are people who use cheats in video games. And you know who's even worse than them? The cheaters who stream their games pretending they're good just to dupe their audience into watching and supporting them. But just because these idiots are stupid enough to cheat doesn't mean they're all smart enough to get away with it. From Call of Duty to Guitar Hero and even chess, yep, online chess, it's time to take a look at even more gamers who've been accused, caught, or admitted to cheating. Quid. Since Epic Games' Battle Royale saga Fortnite was released in 2017, it's attracted adults and kids alike, one of which was Quid. In 2019, at just 13 years old, this kid won his first competitive earnings from Fortnite's World Cup solo tournament and quickly became a big name in the community. He went on to win multiple competitions and titles that same year, but suddenly, it all came crashing down. In May 2020, Quid was streaming in another tournament when, all of a sudden, this happened.
What? Who logged in? Who logged into my account? Wait, what? I just got logged out of my account! Hold on, I think my brother,
Nope, his brother hadn't done anything. Quid had been kicked from the tournament and banned from Fortnite.
I couldn't imagine how embarrassing it would be to get caught cheating live. Let me just stream me cheating. Like, that's just fucking insane.
4 days later, another streamer by the name of Serpent provided some damning insight on Twitter for the whole world to see. He'd been talking to a cheat software creator who claimed that a player in the 2019 Solo Cup had used their hacks without detection, the same one Quid had been in. Then they provided Serpent with a list of all the specific applications needed to run this aim assist software. The most damning part of Serpent's expose, though, was a screenshot from Quid's stream dated May 2020, revealing that he had all of these applications visible on his desktop. Quid responded, admitting he had, in fact, tried to cheat back in 2019, but it hadn't worked. And despite a factory reset of his PC, it was still there. The only problem with his story is that the cheat application download for his desktop has a date on it, April 2020. That was a month before his tournament, not in 2019 as he claimed. Quid never fully addressed this, and after trying to play the game through alt accounts and being repeatedly banned, he left the community. I don't know all the lingo.
What the
Would you call this a rage quid? The greatest admin on earth. Anyone who's played an online multiplayer game will probably know what a game admin is. These are users that have more power and responsibilities than the average player, which they use to maintain order on the server and to ban players trying to abuse the system. But none quite measure up to Rust's admin, Kamomo. In this multiplayer survival game, Kamomo often notices cheaters hacking the game, which he confirms by checking their account history. But instead of banning them immediately, he likes to mess with them beforehand, like with this guy, who he found hacking resources.
We have ourselves a Stinky. Now, I'm going to give this guy a command so that whenever he farms anything, a bear will spawn with landmines planted on the bear's face. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Fucking landmine bear.
Oh, no. What'd you get for cheating in Rust, buddy?
What a dead set legend. Good on you, Kamomo.
That's fucking epic, dude.
About cheating in Rust, I'd rethink that strategy, unless you want to be humiliated by this incredible admin. Basically retired. Being a small streamer trying to break into the big leagues can be tough, but it's even tougher when you're tragically...
I can say as a small streamer, I never once thought about installing cheats.
...unfunny, as Warzone streamer Basically Retired was.
Ellie, why are you trying to be a girl?
What?
Streaming predominantly on Facebook, this gamer enjoyed offensively mocking other players to a handful of watchers at best. But he played well and was able to compete in multiple small-time tournaments. However, in March 2022, Basically Retired took part in a $1,000 Warzone tournament, when onlookers began questioning some of his gameplay. Footage from other competitors emerged who were spectating Basically Retired from a brand new account he created called a Shadow Band. His aim suspiciously snapped onto targets, and he seemed to have an almost psychic knowledge of his opponent's locations. A look back into some of his earlier streams then revealed that he'd briefly broadcasted his desktop setup to the world, and on a closer look, people spotted an application he definitely shouldn't have had. That is Cheat Engine, and as its name suggests, it's mostly used to cheat in computer games, often by evading anti-cheat technology.
That is fucking wild. Like, dude didn't even try to rename it.
Anti-cheat software from detecting any aimbot and ESP hacks he might have been using. Either way, it's not a good look. Since then, this small fry has gone on a deleting spree, removing most of his videos from the weeks leading up to the tournament. Yeah, that doesn't look shady at all. Well, with all that said, maybe this guy should consider changing his name from Basically Retired to Basically Can't Play Warzone. Shmooi,
I don't know who this guy
Guitar
is.
Hero is one of the world's most
How the fuck you
popular
cheat in
music
Guitar
rhythm
Hero?
games, which sees the player take up a guitar-shaped controller and hit buttons along the fret in time with the beats on screen. Since it was first released in 2005,
I
it
remember
gained
when
a
it was
huge
released.
audience of incredibly talented fans, some of whom take their skills to surreal extremes. At the hardest difficulty, they're able to play songs at 2 or 3 times the original speed.
That's
Yeah, this
crazy.
footage isn't sped up. Carney Jared here's genuinely doing this in real time.
That's fucking crazy.
What a boss. But no one was as impressive as Shmooi. Widely considered the best Guitar Hero player in the world, Shmooi held multiple world firsts for completing some of the hardest songs at the highest speeds. Then, in December 2021, he uploaded something that stunned the community. He'd played through the song 9 Patterns of Eternal Pain without missing a note. A feat no one had ever managed before. You can probably see why. At first, the community celebrated yet another Shmooi success, but then someone noticed that, despite the speed, some of Shmooi's finger patterns were wrong. There was no way he could be hitting the right buttons with his hands positioned as they were. Not only that, but right at the end of the upload, a Windows Media Player overlay appeared at the bottom of the screen. So this wasn't a live recording of unedited footage, but a screen recording of potentially rigged footage. Stunned, the community looked closer and started noticing multiple inconsistencies. It appeared that Shmooi had spliced the video of him scoring perfectly on a slower version of the song, which he'd accessed through a cheat engine, then sped the footage up in the edit afterwards. In other words, the video was fake. The
How the
community
fuck you gonna
confronted
cheat in
Shmooi,
Guitar
and
Hero?
initially he denied all accusations. But when even more members came forward with issues they'd found on his other videos, he crumbled and admitted at least 4 of them had been faked like this. But the community didn't stop there. They started combing through every last one of Shmooi's videos, comparing them side by side with their own plays. In most instances, Shmooi's games were running ever so slightly slow in comparison. When he'd sped the footage back up, it wasn't quite to the same speed as the faster songs, leading to this ever so slight discrepancy. After further analysis, the community realized almost all of his videos had been faked in this
Why?
way. More than 100 videos in total
Fucking
and multiple
why?
world firsts. On January 14th,
Guitar
2021,
Hero.
Shmooi removed all the videos on his
Bro got
channel
dragged
and
through the
posted
mud. He fucking deserved
he
it.
had, in fact, cheated on the majority of his uploads.
Yes, most of the stuff I did was unauthentic. And I'm at fault for being a fraud.